So a wee bit ago, apparently China had some of their important information leaked back in February. I know it's like all the way now, like many months later, but being as China's been in the news over telecom breaches recently, I figure it's like, well, I guess it's no better time than now to try and look over it. So you can see here on infosec.exchange, you've got a few series of posts here that talk about, go over some of the different things. It looks like probably backdoor stuff in Windows. These are different Chinese government docs, and going over, what is it? I'm done typing out most of the details from this one PDF file in the Bird site. Twitter information dumper, rats designed for Windows, Mac OS, Linux, iOS, and Android, claims to support all iOS versions without jailbreaking. Let's see, devices for attacking internal networks, specialized hardware for agents working overseas, APT attack scenario framework, Skywalker user lookup database used to look up IRL user data, including phone numbers, so on and so forth. Let's see. Rest of the repo seems to be mostly low-res screenshots. WeChat logo and stuff. Are you sure you can take it down? Of course. If not, I'll return a refund immediately. 8% chance of pwning it. Mail server can bypass traffic monitoring. So yeah, poorly done screenshots. RAR passwords. Poor person's Facebook reset password page. Let's see. Something about Indian Employees Provident Fund Organization. Please double check if the 4 organizations are correct. Let's see. Multiple. Please check which one do you want. Email addresses. Data sheets. And so on. Part 2. Okay. So if we go over no. Well, yeah, that'll be fine either way. We'll go into that container. Obtaining users' Twitter and email and phone number, real-time monitoring, publishing tweets on their behalf, and reading DMs. We are going to open this in a new, no container tab. Obtaining users' Twitter and phone number, real-time monitoring, publishing tweets on their behalf, and reading DMs. See, custom wrap built for Windows with features such as process service registry management, remote shell, key logging, file access logging, obtaining it, system info, disconnect, and uninstallation. Security System v3.0, the Mac version of the RAT software. Let's see, iOS version also exists. So if we go through, let's see, yeah, that's the Mac. That's the iOS, maybe? Yeah. Android 6.0 and above, including obtaining system info, GPS contacts, SMS, call logs, browser history, app list, real-time audio recording, process list, camera, Wi-Fi list, screenshot, key logging, and system info. Going through Google's servers. Ability to dump messages from QQ, WeChat, and Momo, all popular Chinese. So it looks like they're mostly backdoors for the Chinese apps and also Telegram. See, Telegram, not very secure, guys. I don't know why you keep going to Telegram. But anyway, controller for the Android RAT. The Linux version also exists that specifically supports CentOS and Ubuntu. Oddly, old versions of these distros, 12 and 14. Features include remote shell, file management, socks. Port reuse controller appears to be named Traystone. So if you're using an old version of CentOS or Ubuntu, stop it. Get some help. Let's see. Wi-Fi capable device that can inject into the targeted Android devices via Wi-Fi. Said to be portable. Oh, so it's a rogue access point, basically. Wi-Fi near field attack system with a standard and mini edition. Used to infiltrate internet network. Somehow it doesn't explain. It's got to be able to connect to the network, or it's connecting directly in via wire. Connect to target Wi-Fi and establish a SOX tunnel with the internal network. If it can get in. Standard version comes with 4G ability. Ooh, okay, so if you create this access point, you clone the network or create a rogue access point to the network. And yeah.
No, I'm not.
Thank you, people. Let's see, then you've got the Xiaomi battery version of the rogue Wi-Fi access point. Let's see, crack Wi-Fi passwords. Well, if you're exfiltrating the data to somewhere else, then it's going to be a lot quicker to crack Wi-Fi passwords. You're just like sending keys out back and forth. Let's see, support automatic pen testing system that supports Windows, Linux, web services, and network framework. So interesting. Also supports specialized APT attack scenarios, including generating email templates, browser-based attacks, exploited Office document generator, and more. Because Microsoft Office is super secure. Specialized hardware for tracking down Wi-Fi devices and disrupt Wi-Fi signals can be controlled with a dedicated smartphone. See, I think I can do this with my, itty-bitty Mango that I turned into a Wi-Fi Pineapple Tetra too, somewhat. Or if I get the Wi-Fi Marauder add-on for my Flipper Zero, I can do similar things as well. Or just, install other things onto it. Let's see. Product stack designed for spying on users using Chinese social media. Again, this seems like it's mostly Chinese-based. Is it possible that it would be able to be used outside of China? Yes, very much so. I know I've talked to people that have worked for local universities that have talked about how there are Chinese attackers that are within their Chinese IPs that are tracking students from China within their networks. And the Chinese students are like, no, please don't block these. It's like, we can block these things if you want. It's like, please no, they'll do things if you do that. Basically what it is China has these different agents that will work within other countries wherever they've got people, whether it be students on that are studying in other countries or things like that, that they will send to, in essence, harass them if they are not able to be tracked by them. So it kind of becomes this interesting thing. That's why the foreign agents things matters, because they are connecting to the network within China in order to be able to communicate what's going on or give orders for what needs to be further done, in essence. Features designed specifically for forums, emote beacon, link beacon, platform designed specifically for cracking down gambling cases. Again, this all seems to be internally for China, but it can be very much used for other things as well. Develop their own CTF platforms for training InfoSec employees. King of the Hill, yeah. Skywalker data research platform used to look up information related to people. So they've got an extensive data base on everybody. Let's see. Email. This can be automatically imported by SMTP, POP3, IMAP, and blah, blah, blah. That was most of the data in just one PDF file that is leaked from this repository. There's presumably a lot more to dig through. The rest of the repo seems to be mostly low-res screenshots. Let's see. What? Boring. Anyway. Yeah, that's a lot of info. So how... this actually is not anything new in all reality. So as I've been reading more and more, there's some books that I've picked up that talk more specifically about the the hackers from China and their past back, I think it was written back in the 90s, from the Foreign Military Studies Office with the U.S. Army. And then there's also another one that talks about Chinese info war theory. And this all leans very much into the info war theory of controlling information and the information battle space. The one on Chinese info war theory I haven't finished as of yet, but I'm in the middle of reading it. And with everything that I've read, this is a book published back in 2004. And it covers information about Chinese info war theory from the 90s on up to 2003. And when I look at a lot of the things that China has done, be it TikTok and now looking at this, it all fits in with the scheme of the Chinese info war theory and how they do things and integrate everything into a military context so that if it really comes down to it, they can deploy their people like a military as one. So your civilian infrastructure becomes your military infrastructure in wartime. And in reality, a lot of we've been dealing with economic wars and information wars for like the last couple of decades, because it's been a constant barrage of China ramping up their information warfare and controlling different things. So like you look at the manufacturing, China has been since then, they've been working to centralize all of their manufacturing, their computer chips and everything within their own country, because then it means they have control over their own IT security. And then you look at the other countries that outsource all of their manufacturing to China, and that creates a problem of security, which China can exploit. Again, this fits in with their info warfare stratagem, is to control the flow of information, control what information gets out, and in a lot of ways demoralize your enemies, and then you don't even have to fire a single bullet in order to conquer them. So when you talk about TikTok and like the ban of TikTok, it's like, well, how does it fit into their warfare theory? Oh, well, it's like this. Okay, it makes sense that we would want to get rid of that thing. Their manufacturing, we manufacture a lot of things over in China because they can do it cheap. How does that affect our ability to control our information, the flow thereof? Well, they have control of it because they control the chips, this, that, and the other. That becomes an issue because now you have given an adversary a lot of the power to control your own economy. But again, it makes sense to me because of all of that information. A lot of people would be like, oh, this is like anti-China, this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, no, this is literally what they've been working on for decades. So it's just another thing. It's just really funny that if we scroll down to, where is it? The next one. The only ones that work are old versions of Linux because they're a little bit more vulnerable. So if you're keeping your stuff up to date, you're mostly fine if you're running Linux as a daily driver, it seems like. Mostly fine. Mostly. If you liked the content, if you enjoyed it, if you think I deserve it, like, comment, subscribe, leave any criticisms you have or what have you. I appreciate it. Feed that algorithm, like I said, and I will see you guys in the next one.